Hello, Seiiti Arata. If you're upset on a Sunday night because the next day is going to be Monday again, and if you don't like your current job and you dream of changing careers, what is really going on in your life? Notice that there is an incoherence. There is a separation between who you are and who you would like to be. Perhaps you wish to live a different life, but something is still missing. Maybe you don't have enough money, or you don't have a certain type of relationship, or you suffer from lack of health, or you're missing some ability or lack of training. Of all the necessary elements, there is a special one you need, and with this element in hand, everything gets easier. It is money. With money, you can change careers without having to go through a rough time, face difficulties, feel suffocated. So if you're not happy with your current job, and if you want to transition careers in peace, it's really important to look after your financial reserves. I know this seems obvious, but you need to be careful not to turn into a person that hates money. Money is a useful tool that can and should be used to improve your quality of life. Saying that we should work with what we're passionate about is really beautiful in theory, but in real life, far from the inspirational quotes on social media, the bills keep coming. You need to pay for groceries, rent, electricity, all the other day-to-day expenses. Therefore, it is a big mistake to ignore the importance of money in your planning. And before you can put your dream of changing careers into practice, you need to pay yourself first. So together we will create an organized and detailed plan to turn your dream into reality. To change careers the right way, you must move at optimal speed. You cannot put it off for too long. You should not be reckless either. In your grandparents' generation, and maybe even in your parents' generation, it was normal to start a career at the age of 18 and stay in that same job until retirement. However, nowadays, it is normal to see people that go through 2, 3, or even more different professions during their career. And this happens both because of the dynamic aspect of the market and also the desire that people have nowadays to try new things. So let's do a simple self-knowledge activity. Pause the video and ask yourself, are you always excited about the weekend to finally have time to practice your hobby? Do you spend all your time suffering with your job and wanting to retire already? Do you wish you could change your profession for a different career? These are just of the different signals that you are no longer satisfied with your current job. It is like having an unfulfilled gap in your life. And the good news is that this frustration can be solved with a simple plan. To change careers, you need preparation. That is why the continued education sector has thrived so much. Arata Academy started online educational programs for adults in 2007, and since then there has been massive growth in this sector. And the reason for the increased demand for continuing education is that today there is an abundance of information, way more than was available one generation ago. Today you can access educational resources online to gain the knowledge, the skills that are needed to change careers. Many of them are even free. All you have to do is to research and dedicate your time. And while there is plenty of information, there is also a big problem. Time goes by quickly. Therefore, you cannot just spend years just studying, just planning without taking action. It is impossible to consume all the existing information, so you need a plan that optimizes your time. If you take too long, it may be too late to change careers and make your dreams come true. One of the biggest regrets you can have at the end of your life is not following your dreams. Imagine living a lifetime hating your work. What a waste. While it is important to take action to achieve your goals, you cannot take action in a reckless manner. It would be unwise to just quit your current job to venture into a new field without having a good plan. Responsible planning is especially important and necessary if you look after the well-being of your family, and if you're the one paying for your children's or your parents' living expenses, for example. Therefore, when it comes to career change, your speed needs to be optimized. It can be neither too fast nor too slow. And how do you achieve optimal speed? By building a financial reserve. Building a financial reserve gives you reassurance and courage to change careers without any problems. The best way to change careers without any problems is to build a financial reserve and plan the next steps that you need to take. And for this planning, the first step is to precisely calculate what your monthly essential expenses are. Rent, energy, internet, education. You can calculate all the bills that will continue coming and that you cannot eliminate, you cannot negotiate. Also include an emergency reserve to deal with unexpected situations. This is the minimum amount that you need to have saved to survive a month if you quit your job today in order to take a risk in another career. Chances are that your career transition will not take just a month. Therefore, the second step of the plan is for you to estimate how long will it take for you to leave your current job and actually get a job in your new field. And with that perspective, you simply multiply one by the other to arrive at your ideal financial reserve amount. Let's imagine, for example, Luke. Luke is a banker who works at the same bank for 10 years and can't stand having the same routine anymore. He hates his boss and his work colleagues who spend the whole day gossiping around and doing office politics. Now, imagine that Luke would love to be cooking. He dreams of being a professional chef in a really good restaurant one day. The problem is that Luke is a dad. He has a series of financial commitments. And he did the math, and he noticed that every month he spends at least, let's say, $10,000. Analyzing the market and talking to other known chefs, he saw that it takes at least 6 months for an inexperienced cook to get a job where he lives. Multiplying one by the other, Luke came to the conclusion that he needs to have a financial reserve of at least $60,000 to smoothly make the career transition without harming the family expenses. Use the time necessary to build up your financial reserve to prepare yourself for the new career. While you are unable to save up the amount you need to build up your financial reserve, you should not stay put. On the contrary, you should use this time to prepare yourself for your new career while still keeping your current job. That time also needs to be planned. Imagine that you calculated that it will take you 12 months to build up your financial reserve. Now you check how much time per day or per week you can dedicate to study your new profession and plan what you can learn during these 12 months. Your plan needs to be realistic. It needs to cover all areas of your life, not just the financial part. For example, an incomplete, unbalanced plan might only prioritize the finances, saving as much as possible. And what is the problem with having an unbalanced plan that only values finances? It is the scenario that can lead to health problems, relationship problems, or even lack of leisure, entertainment. Do you understand the importance of having a plan that covers all areas of life? Not seeing life as a whole is the main reason why many plans like this end up failing. As to your financial reserve, the points that cannot be left out of the plan should be the calculation of your monthly expenses, an estimated time to get a job in the area that you're looking for, how much you can save per month to build up your financial reserve, and how long it will take you to form this reserve. But beyond that, your plan should also consider how much time you can dedicate in learning a new profession while maintaining your current job, and what other responsibilities you have to maintain in other areas of your life, such as family, health, and leisure. It may seem a lot, but having a plan like this is much better than the stress of risking a drastic change without having a reserve, without organization. And it is much better than the regret of spending your whole life with an unfulfilled dream of trying out a new career. To change careers without having a rough time, you cannot wait too long or go too fast. There is a middle ground, and it is directly linked to forming a financial reserve and planning the steps that need to be taken to leave your current job and get a job in the new area of your interest. This financial reserve needs to be calculated based on your current expenses and the time you expect to take to make a career change. And while you're gathering all this money, you should also learn the skills that will be necessary for you to work in the new profession. And all this planning should be included in a much greater plan, a plan that covers from your highest personal values to the next tasks that you have to execute in all areas of your life. You can learn and practice how to make a life plan just like this in the Planning Your Life course, which you can watch right now by going to the link arata.se/planning your life.